We want to look after the people that we've got around us. We want them to be with us and grow with us. So I think more so on a personal level that we chose to forego making money in a lot of places just to make sure we've got happy people around us that want to be there.
This is the Deep in the Weeds podcast. I'm Anthony Huckstep. Last time we caught up with Doug Fraser, we spoke of the intense lockdown of Sydney's northern suburbs, namely around his restaurant, Lovat. A lot has changed, including the opening of a new restaurant, the Basin Dining Room. Doug, how are you?
Good, thanks.
It's good to get you back on the show. What's things been like the last sort of year since we caught up?
It's been a bit crazy, to be honest. We ended up opening a new restaurant just recently, a couple of days ago. So lots happened.
Take us back to that time. I think the last time we spoke, there was all of that sort of northern suburbs was going into sort of isolated lockdowns, and it was impacting on your restaurant. Like, looking back on it, what was that period of time like for you?
Yeah, it was, to be honest. I mean, a lot of people I know that kind of said, it was good for us. There was a lot of help and all this kind of stuff, and we needed it. I don't feel that we needed it. It was really hard. But we did grow. We did get better from it all. I suppose we just kept on that momentum of pushing and we kind of made it through, and we still wanted to grow a little bit, and that's kind of where we are at now.
When did things start to turn from you as the sort of industry opened up again and society opened up again? Was there a moment where the cogs kicked in again and everything started pushing forward?
It was a bit of a weird time, because going very busy to almost nothing, then takeaway and getting that community support and being really busy again, and then the restaurants opening up again, and it was just insanely busy for a while. I think for everybody, it's not just me. Well, hopefully everyone had a good run at it, but then it's kind of just compressed a little bit and a little bit flat. But it really took about 3 months or so for it to really kick on again, and we had a good run for a while there.
Given the impact that the last couple of years had, did you approach your business and your craft a little bit differently coming out of sort of that pandemic experience?
Definitely. I mean, I think maybe a lot of it came from my personal point of view, that we need to look after ourselves a bit better, and that hopefully reflected on our team, that we want to look after the people that we've got around us. We want them to be with us and grow with us. So I think more so on a personal level that we chose to forego making money in a lot of places just to make sure we've got happy people around us that want to be there.
At the top of the show, we sort of mentioned that you've just opened a new restaurant, the Basin Dining Room. How did that opportunity come about?
Well, it all sounds a little bit airy-fairy, but we lived down at Matavale Beach, not far from the beach, Matavale, and my wife and I, Kylie, we were just going for a swim on a nice summer's day, almost just over a year ago, and they were building this massive bloody surf club, and I was like, that's pretty amazing what they're doing there. It kind of reminded me of the look of what the Stoke House down in Melbourne, the look of that building. Yeah, really nice looking building, and we were like far out there. It looks like someone's going to build a restaurant up there, and we were like, that would be pretty cool if we could get it, but not really thinking much of it. And then on the way home, one of my good friends who's been our veg supplier for many years texted me and said the tender was available for it. So we thought, well, let's give it a crack and see what happens.
Take us through that process. Did the ideas that you pitched, is that what has transpired?
Pretty close. I mean, the whole process was, to put it politely, pretty exhaustive. It was took a lot out of us. But it is what it is. And we were sitting there on the empty site, thinking, what would we do here? And it'd be silly not to do something seafood based. Having said that, we're not just a seafood restaurant. But we really want to focus on trying to use as much fresh seafood as we can.
Were you nervous about adding another business to the portfolio, given the sort of instability of the last couple of years?
I think shit scared would be an understatement. It was, we were like, what are we doing? But Having said that, we looked around at our community around us, the core group of people. Dan, the head chef, who's been with us for a while, his partner Julie, the management team that we've got on. We've got some amazing people, and we even grew to that, and that kind of gave us the confidence to do something and hopefully do it really well.
You mentioned a bit about seafood and obviously other things on the menu, but is there a dish or two that you can tell us about that sort of speaks of the Basin Dining Room?
Well, yeah, I mean, we're not fancy or anything like that, but we like to keep things pretty simple. One thing we're pretty happy with on the menu is the roasted scallops dish. Really simple. Scallops roasted in shell in a bit of chili kombu butter, which is Dan's kind of creation, Dan the head chef. And and I think a lot of that represents a lot of what we do is, we try and buy good produce, use a few things a little bit out of the norm and keep it quite simple.
You've only just opened the business, but what was it like? What was the response like and how are things going at the moment?
Well, it's crazy for me to open something that people actually want to come to. So, I don't know how normal people do this, but there's a weight of expectation of what people think you should be and what you want to be and all this kind of stuff. It's been great. We've had a lot of support from the local community, and we just really want to make sure that we deliver to them on as many fronts as possible. But it's been great. I'm not going to lie, I'm knackered, and the guys are pretty tired too. But I think the fact, when we all look at, the guys are pumping in the middle of service, and kind of all give each other a bit of a pat on the back and get through that day and on to the next one. But we're doing limited hours for the moment just because, like every restaurant in the world, it's a bit short on staff.
What about your role, sort of adding another business at the same time? Are you less hands-on and more trying to run the businesses? What's the impact been on your role?
Oh, definitely. I mean, Dan, the chef, he's been with me now for 4 years and maybe even longer, almost 5. And this is the 4th restaurant we've done together. So we know what each other's strengths are. And that gives me the ability to leave a lot to him. We discuss a lot of the ideas and he knows by my ramblings and scribblings that what I mean, and we get the point across and we get there in the end. But yeah, having someone like that's been key to us, doing more.
Well, it's been a bit wet lately and a slightly strange sort of spring, but we are pushing into summer. What are you looking forward to with the Basin Dining Room?
Really just looking to see all those, the locals come in and enjoy themselves. I mean, I know there's been a lot of the locals have been waiting almost 10 years for this building to be built, and they spent, a huge amount of money on it. And so we, just want to keep them happy. That's really my goal with this venue. I mean, yeah, just keep everyone happy.
Well, Doug, good luck with the new project and obviously Restaurant Lovat as well. It's great to catch up with you. Please keep in touch and we'll catch up again soon.
Thank you very much.
This is the Deep in the Weeds podcast. I'm Anthony Huckstep. Stay tuned as we take a deep dive into the lives of the incredible people who ply their trade in the food and hospitality sector. Special thanks to executive producer Rob Locke for making this all happen. Follow us on Instagram at Deep in the Weeds Podcast or email us at podcast@deepintheweeds.com.au. Stay safe and be well.